Oh, this could be good. Sacred Sunday Wizard here. Hi, everybody. I love you. This is a day where I have chosen last week, at least, to start talking about Sacred Sundays and Confessional Sundays. I think it's important that we all get to know each other a little better. Oh, don't you agree? Why not? Here's the Wizard. Today, I choose to talk about addictions and motorcycles and how they have affected the Wizard's life so far. Boy, where do I even start with the drugs? Okay, this is Confession Day, everybody. True Confession Day. Keep that in mind. I think I was, the best of my recollection, I was 14, and living in West Los Angeles, and Mom had gotten remarried. Husband number 2. And I came home from school. Where was I? Oh, junior high school, I think. And my stepbrother had the U.S. flag zigzag papers on the dining room table with his friend John. I remember that, John Heil. Just saying, he lived over by Draper Avenue. That's another story about a flexi and me. Me and my flexi down Draper Avenue, steepest street in West Los Angeles. That was an adventure. Okay. Anyway, they had weed on the table, rolling up joints, and they were a little older than me, so they're like 15. Yeah, 15, 16. And there you go, and that caught my interest, and they had the little wire in it. I'm not trying to glamorize, just saying. Had the wire in it, the U.S. flag joint paper. Back then, there's seeds and crap all over the place, right? Evidence, you gotta make sure you get the seeds before Mom sees them. Before Mom seeds them. I got a story about Mom seizing weed, never mind. Okay. Anyway, that was my introduction. I was pretty young. So they gave me a joint. Basically, I snuck one while they weren't looking because I was curious. So me and my growing up buddy Kenny Rothmel, I think he's gone. I think he's deceased. He ended up being a money counter, a pit boss or whatever in a casino in Reno. Go figure. He and I we were tight. Me and Robert too, though. Robert Reese, he's dead. He's the bully that I beat in 6th grade. In what grade would that? What is that? It's like elementary school. 6th grade, okay. Oh, well, that's a story in itself. Me and Robert, Butch Cassidy and a Sundance Kid. Oh boy. Anyway, addiction. And motorcycles, I think it was almost hand in hand, because it was after Robert lost the alley fight with me with a history book that stopped everything in reverse history. Let me plug back in. Whoa, Wizard. Okay, so I ended up being king of the schoolyard, so what else is new? Next. Okay, so back to partaking and that first experience with cannabis. It was very appealing. It was a great way for me to escape because I've already gone through one dad, if you will. So now we're on stepdad number 1, but dad 2. Okay. I got caught up with the cannabis because it made me feel good. Period. But at the same time, it sparked an interest in two-wheeled vehicles and mechanics and MacGyverism as a young child. I've always been good with wrenching. I'm really good. I fix modern-day vehicles even. It's amazing. You look on YouTube and watch a video, and then you just go do it. You emulate that, okay? But you got to have the tools, and I have all the tools and the ability, still the physical dexterity after my fingers almost being ripped off of me. Happy Sunday. Hope you like the horse videos, squirrel. That's what I do, though. I love you, by the way. Children, I love you too, but this is not a formatted dealio. Wizard unformatted. Unformatted wizard. There you go, mirror. Boy, going back in your memory or reliving childhood stuff, it's so clear to me, though. It's really trippy because I do it often, and it's not hard to remember, but I learned from it. I did. Okay, squirrel. Okay, wow. Retroflectionism. Take that. I love you. Do the mirror time. Okay, you already know. Do it. Boy, my fingers lit up without doing that, didn't it? Oh, they did. I love you. Anyway, I started out with marijuana. They said, oh, it's going to lead to harder drugs like heroin. Well, you know what? They were right. They were right. I went there. I'm going there. Motorcycles are involved the whole way. I'm blending drugs and motorcycles for the wizard. It composed my life. It did. I'm not ashamed to admit it. Okay, I'm a heathen from wee tiny riding a trike into the deep end, okay, and waiting for mom to come in and bail me up, float me up. I float my boat, mom. She did. I think she saved my life more than not, but I think I drowned 3, 5, 7 times in the deep end. Boy, flashback on that one, right? Somebody caught that. Boy, there's a police just turn around in my front yard. I'm glad they left. Maybe they left me a note on the front door. Typical me. It's all good. I love the police. It's okay. We need them. We do. I don't want to do it. I'm too old. Anyway, so drugs and me and motorcycles. Anyway, so motorcycles were always a part of my life. If I couldn't build them from spare parts from the Chinese lawnmower shop guy up on Pico Boulevard, a Briggs & Stratton 5 horsepower was the shiznit, baby. Centrifugal clutch and all, right? If you know, you know. I'm born. Spurts of my past. Pull started, and there you go, and you're on a Bonanza mini bike frame going to elementary school. When lo and behold, there's mom driving, and I'm at a corner waiting for the light to turn green, and she looks at me and I look at her and she goes, what in the world? Blah, blah, blah. And the mini bike went in the trunk and I went home and I was grounded until the next day. I told her, I said, it's not my mini bike. You can't do this. It's Robert's. So I would, of course, have it released to my custody, unfortunately, or fortunately. So I would take it back to Roberts and let him ride it to school for a minute, and then I'd just ride my Stingray. I had a Stingray. Ape hanger bars, baby, you know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. Had the banana seat. Just saying it did. And a sissy bar. The fuck? It was everything I dreamed of, and then I got really advanced and got a 3-speed stick shift purple metal flake Stingray beach bike with Springer front end. Take that. Oh, these are fun. No script, baby. It ain't happening. Here you go. Hey, you know, it'd be fun at campfire. It would. Once I get yapping, you can't stop me, okay? It's fun. It's fun. So, okay, drugs and motorcycles. Anyway, I graduated to where I stole one. 16, and off I went with the Honda 90, but that was with a different cohort. Long story short, I was still smoking weed. Oh, my first drunk experience was with Robert, by the way. My train robber cohort, okay? So, we're at his house and his parents were total, there were gallons and big jugs of booze everywhere, right? It's right there for the taking. So we took a fifth of gin and belted it between me and him. And I think that was my introduction to alcohol. Probably, we were young, man. I had to think, it's like 12. I think I did this before I smoked weed. I think I was 11 or 12. No, I was 12 or 13. It's all in the same time frame. I felt adventurous. Oh, we all know what the porcelain god. Worshipping the porcelain god. Huh, ladies? Huh, refined ones out there? How sophisticated were you then? Or how sophisticated are you now? Have you learned from your past? Wizard, don't do that. Okay. Anyway, I stole a motorcycle, got arrested, got released because I returned it in better shape than I found it. I repainted it, and it was immaculate for the guy. He was grateful that I took it. I was 16. I'll never. That was my mom's first night. Oh, this is important. I'd stolen this motorcycle like a month prior to this particular date. And this particular date, my mom, I pulled a gun. I pulled a shotgun on my stepdad. At the age of 15, I squirrel, okay? But he was killing my mom down in the bedroom, and I'm like, fuck this. Kicked the door open, put a fucking 6 inches from his face, a long barrel 12 gauge that I got from my uncle that had passed. And I had it upstairs with ammo in it. It was loaded, okay, and I was ready to pull the trigger on this guy, and the look on his face. He worked for Lockheed. He's dead. He worked for Lockheed, and he was an engineer at Lockheed, but an alcoholic, and he decided my mom was a good punching bag, and took it a little too far. He took it a little too far and pushed the wizard's button, if you will. Boy, this is an intense memory for me. It all shaped who I am now. Part of it. Just saying. My human experience, anyway, has been rugged. My human experience has been rugged so far. Nothing's smooth for me, okay? My life wasn't smooth, okay? Just saying. Just go with that. Hang on. Let me recompose. That was a really nasty evening, okay? Wow. I didn't pull the trigger, okay? But in my mind I did. And meanwhile, a few months later, Mom had re-met somebody else, and on their first date, I took this motorcycle that I'd taken apart, repainted, fixed it, left the plates and everything. Wizard was smart, okay? I'm 16 and I go, I need to get this across town to my buddy, accomplice, David. And I called the police from a payphone. And I go, hi, is this a license plate been reported stolen? I went there. And you know what? They're pretty crafty. They go, why, no, it has not. Can we help you? And I'm like, click. I'm like, oh, good. It was about a 4 or 5 mile venture, okay? I knew how to ride motorcycles. I've been riding dirt bikes on the railroad tracks growing up, and mini bikes all over in the gravel. It's in my blood, okay? So, they go on a date. Mom and the third dad go on their first date. And here I go, hey, David, I'm going to come over. Okay, man. Bike's running perfect. Cops they're telling me it's not been reported stolen. I left the plates and everything on it. Okay, everybody? Wizard's smart. to the corner. Mom and stepdad, whatever, number 3, dad number 3 leave. 20 minutes later, I'm on my way. 10-4. 10-4. Here I go to the corner. I look left and I see what looks to be headlights. It's dark. And everybody growing up in my hood, knew what the police looked like from a distance. I knew what they looked like from a distance in their ride. We all did. 1 out of 5 or out of 5 out of 12, whatever the hell. Here we go. I turn right because he's too far away. It's uncomfortable for me to wait. He'd be like, why is he waiting so long? Something's weird. So I'm like, I'm smart. I turn, knowing I'm good. The lights came on. I wasn't good. Go figure. Ow, ow, ow. That's right. Do you know why we pulled you over? Why, no. It goes, your taillights burned out. Typical. Typical. Anyway, that all happened. Meanwhile, things were getting higher. I kept smoking weed. I did, and I never stopped riding motorcycles. I got released and the guy didn't press charges because I made the bike better. I gave it back better. I built it back better. Take care of your stuff, everybody. This guy's shit was getting grimy, you know what I'm saying? Guys, tend to your grimy lizard. That's okay. When I went in a certain, boy, I'm skipping all over, but you know, I could go on a way. You know what? Okay. Momento pues. Let the wizard gather his thoughts. Growing up in Hollywood, motorcycles never left. A Z1900 Kawasaki comes to mind. Where I was running around Hollywood selling LSD to the movie stars and their children, the ones I grew up with. Feel the fire, wizard. That motorcycle was badass, man. It was in my soul. I was a biker from 3 years old. Fuck yeah. And a Viking King. Throw that on the top. Feel the heat, feel the fire, feel the heat. No pressure, huh, buddy? Do more drugs and drink more. You won't have to deal with all that. Let's numb that. After all, I almost killed a man at 15. I carried that for a long time, everybody. I'm not afraid to pull the trigger. We'll talk about the military. That's separate for the wizard, okay? But I did escape Hollywood to the military where another motorcycle was involved in my first DUI in Germany. 90 and a 10 at 2 in the morning with snow on the road leading at the front gate. And my buddy MP Mark Nyman was good enough to just light up his car there. And I stopped, put the kickstand down. He drove up and I'm like, I blew a 2.1 infirmary, the sprint, whatever, was right there, 100 feet away. On base, of course. Probably saved my life. But I've been smoking hash, black bubblegum hash in Germany, baby. And when you're doing other things in other areas, the local drugs, pretty gnarly. Keeping it real, okay? Motorcycles and madness. Motorcycle madness, there you go. You know what? Drugs and motorcycles go hand in hand, and don't kid yourself if they don't. Alcohol's a drug too, everybody. So I've had a DUI, but it's in the military and the records are sealed. There you go, take that. But I learned, don't ride a Kawasaki 750 two-stroke going 90 and a 10, popping a wheelie thinking you can go out based on the Autobahn and survive, blowing a 2.1. I felt the fire. It cost me $500 and like a week of picking up cigarette butts. I did, squirrel. I did. I did it on an army base in Heilbronn. check me out, right? Motorcycle Madness, baby. Anyway, the Wizard brought it all home to the good old USA, and where I started getting up to the point where I could own a Harley or have a Harley and audition for a 3-piece motorcycle club. And henceforth, I've been a patched member for a long time, and I'm now retired, and I don't talk about details here out of respect for other bikers. And if you know, you know. That's sacred. That's between me and Sonny, who's deceased. He was a good friend, actually. People are like, oh, you knew Sonny Barger? Oh, yeah. Yes, I did, actually. I hosted him at an event once in my town, and I had to go out and tell the police chief. I go, why are you guys all here? They had a SWAT team, everybody's surrounding the block, motorcycles and nefarious activities, supposedly. And he goes, well, it's the Hells Angels. I go, well, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. What's the problem? I said, we're self-governing. We all self-govern, all 3-patch clubs, period, male, female. We're brothers and sisters to death, period. So there you go. If you know, you know. So anyway, all other stories and things that have been said and all that are sacred. You're never going to hear it from the Wizard. But it's been fun, other than me taking that from a barn I own. So I'm not a Skull and Bones guy at all. However, you know what's interesting? You know, no, I can't go there. I can't even go there. Anyway, they even gave me a beer when I took it. Oh, thank you. Yeah. I've been there. I've been to the Munich Fest, Oktoberfest in Germany twice. Okay, physically been there. And a lot of other places in between all over Europe. And there you go. And everything involved a motorcycle. Even in school in Strasbourg, where I went to college, by the way, for a year. You know, I had access to a Honda, what was it, a Honda 750. Back when they made those, good old Honda 750. And there you go. And I'd go strap a crate of liter lager beers on the back of the bike and take them back to the chateau where the school was. They converted a French chateau into a university in the Black Forest in France. Europe's really cool if you're fortunate enough to go. I don't know, but you know, try. It might be too late, but try. My grandmother financed me a year in college. She was the first realtor on Wilshire Boulevard in Beverly Hills back in the first female realtor on Wilshire Boulevard. She did really well for herself. And you know what? I eat at her table literally every day and every night. I have the family heirloom table. It spans out to 12 feet, everybody. Squirrel. I sit right where she did, and there was a buzzard back in the day. It's from a castle in England. It's a beautiful table, solid. What is this, walnut? It's beautiful. Oh my God. And it works. All the mechanisms work. Squirrel. I'm thinking of my grandma now. Wow, she was amazing. Totally amazing. Still is. Her spirit's here. She told me, you know what? When I grew up, she said, you know what? One of these days, you're going to be in, like, the front page of a magazine or a newspaper or something like that. And I just was like, well, she used to read tea leaves. So I drank a cup of tea. I remember it was like 11 or 12. I was really young. I know where it was, too, in the backyard on Putney Road. Same place where I pulled a gun on the stepdad. She said, you're going to be somebody. Oh. Wow. Here we are. Listen to Grandma, okay? I was with her when she passed. The moment I wrote a note. I said, Grandma, go be with God. You're okay. And I was holding her hand, and that was it. I'm so grateful I was there. She was my everything. she taught me how to drive. I used to drive a big old green Cadillac from LA to Palm Springs every weekend with her, and I started at age like 13 or 14. I'd go burn one, and then I'd drive her Cadillac down the I-10. Wow. Anyway, Confessional Sunday, and I've talked long enough, and I love you, everybody, and have a great rest of the day, and what do you got? But anyway, I joined a club, and now I'm retired. And I was an active member for way over 10 years, and now I'm still in for life. That commitment's for life, and it's to the death. So there you go. Have something to be staking your honor in, I guess. I don't know. What's the moral of my story is have a hard look. Have a hard look at your drug use or your drinking, and you decide what your balance is. It keeps your life in order, keeps you spiritually in order, and you draw your own borders, and there's no judgment from the wizard. None at all. I love you very much. I condone cannabis use. Yes. Marijuana, cannabis, Jesus, cannabis is synonymous with moi. I love you very much, and have a sacred Sunday, everybody, and take that.